Hello and welcome to another episode of The Extended Branch, a podcast about Freemasonry. I'm here with Andrew and with Billy. My name is Kevin. How you doing tonight?
It's good to be with you guys. What's going on? What are you doing here?
You're on my time tonight.
Guys, I thought... What the fuck?
Oh, no. Beat it, Junior.
Please accept my resignation. I don't want to belong to any club that will accept me as a member.
Hello, world. This is Chris Aballo's podcast experiment, and I am Chris Aballo. Welcome to the show, where I'm joined once again by Andrew Rizzitello.
Heidi ho.
And introducing two other cast members from the Extended Branch podcast, available on YouTube, Billy Bilbow.
Hi, how are you?
And Kevin Cotter.
Hey, how you doing?
It's officially the greatest crossover event of the hour.
Yeah, that's right. Of this week.
Yes,
the biggest crossover of the week. It's Cape and TXB here in one place.
TXB, that's
We're making
good.
it happen.
I like that one.
We're making it happen. Well, it's better than TEB.
Yeah.
Like, we're TEB. Like, put an X in the middle of any. That's why I always, in text, I always write Xmas instead of Christmas, because the X makes it sound cool.
So, you know what, guys? He's got a point. I think that's going to be our new branding
TXB
now.
has to, work out a logo with TXB.
TXB.
Like, the Extended Branch.
So we need you for voiceovers now.
This Saturday, the Extended Branch is talking Freemasonry.
Oh, now we're wrestling. That's great.
At a monster truck rally.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, have you been to DLIs?
Let's get ready to ramble.
That's right.
Ramble is correct.
Well, this is how it starts. Every week we do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so these guys, they're all Freemasons. I am not. I quote Groucho Marx. I would not like to be part of any organization that would have me as a member. So
Fair enough.
it doesn't get any more honest than that. So that's where I am. But I am curious about the goings on and the business and everything that's into it, including the appeal, because I know Andrew's interest comes primarily from masculine insecurity. So we've been over that a lot. So I know why he got
There's
into
a two-part
this.
episode on it. No.
Yeah. Well, this is a lot of parts. This is 11 years worth of episodes.
It's all episodes
About what's going on under that hat. But I do want to know kind of what drew you guys in to now here's the thing. I am going to make jokes about Freemasons, but to be honest, they weren't on my radar until he showed an interest. Like they were just kind of neutral to me. Mm-hmm. But ever since Andrew developed an interest, now they're just
now popping up everywhere.
Yeah, now they're a target. So it's not. I have nothing against the organization. I have nothing against obviously anybody who is a Freemason, a brother. Am I saying it right? Because you're all a bunch of Hulk Hogans calling each other brother.
But
exactly. So
Kevin's just like, what the hell did I say?
No, I can't. It's like, I'm not going to argue.
So I am curious though, what kind of got you guys into what I've only half jokingly referred to as the Bygone Era Boys Club.
No. Tell them the other name that you came up with, because I've never told them.
Oh, the Protractor Club. Because I'm looking at this thing on the top, which, you used to draw a perfect circle. And I'm like, it's the Protractor Club. That was the first one.
It's a square
Well,
protractor.
I joined basically because of Andrew's masculine insecurity.
Thanks, Kev.
That's how powerful it is.
It's
you
just,
hold some sway.
I'm a gravity.
And you didn't even know it. Yeah, you are. You're like gravity. You're like pulling people towards.
But that's a
towards
love
your
lift me
organization.
up where we belong.
I warp reality in such a way that my own gravity brings people in.
Okay, I buy that.
Okay.
So go ahead,
So,
Billy.
Yeah, Billy, what brought
Billy
you in?
is the youngest Mason here.
Yeah, I've only been in 4 years. It'll be 4 years June.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, we're in here now, right?
Yeah, you are. It would be.
we're,
Were you a solstice?
The 21st.
21st. Okay,
Wait,
so close enough.
what does that mean? This is
All right,
crossing into astrology territory.
Well,
So
you'll find that with Masonry, we cross into a lot of things.
We
Is
do
that right?
moon stuff.
And that's why Kevin's here, because he's the esoteric one.
you're here because crossing swords. But
Yes.
anyway, go on. So what's the solstice business?
So at
Does
least
this have to do with any kind of herbal tea? Like I want to know.
Possibly.
Okay.
So
You got to do something about that cough,
I
man.
know.
It's been
Hold
4
on.
weeks of
Hold
this.
on.
And attaboy.
Yeah,
Sip.
That's it.
One sip.
You know what
Some
that
of Granddad's cough medicine.
You know what that tastes like? Non-Grand Lodge involvement.
Wow. Yeah, just so you know, they're very much representatives of their lodge, and the Freemason
we
Brotherhood.
are a brand.
Not
correct.
right now. Not right
Well,
now.
no, on your show, like this is more free form. They're not here to represent any group. They're just here as individuals. So
For guys.
if anybody's watching this, we're just four guys having to talk. So there is no.
Yeah, we're
these guys have lives outside the lodge.
Yeah, incredibly informal. But,
Correct.
So the me referring to the solstice, at least for our lodge. Now, very basic overview. In Freemasonry, you have 3 individual degrees. You have your entered apprentice, or 4 if you want to count the candidate, which is like if you showed up right now to lodge, you are considered a prospect or a candidate. And it's just like any other fraternity or any other group that you want to join. You've got your.
I've heard Scientologists use this same spiel on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, but we don't sell it. So they're out there handing out paperwork. You have to give us your
and
paperwork.
free personality tests. Let's not overlook that.
Well, that's just a bar for us.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
explains a lot of what's going on behind us. Continue.
So there's you're a candidate or a prospect, and then you receive your first degree, which would be your entered apprentice degree, and there's a whole ceremony that goes on with that. Next, you get your fellowcraft degree, again, another ceremony, and your third degree, which coincidentally, that's where the term comes from. I'm going to give you the third degree.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
That's us.
Oh, we got a lot of them.
Yes,
really?
There's a lot of little colloquialisms that come from
I love language. We're going to have to dig into those.
Then the third degree is your Master Mason degree, in which you are now the highest degree ever. You'll hear all these other terms like 33rd and 32nd and York Rite and all these. Once you're a Master Mason, everything is just linear.
That's
from,
it. You're
from the sides.
top of the heap.
That's it.
Interesting.
So
what are you?
I am a Master Mason, but I am the worshipful master of my lodge, meaning I'm the president.
That is so fucked up. Now,
yes, I know. Yes,
let's table everything else for a moment. Now, Andrew being in a leadership role, something I can't really picture. It seems unnatural, like a dog walking on its hind legs. So I want to know, how did he slip through? Like he's the youngest in this room, and I can't imagine. I mean, you guys are probably the only 3 non-AARP members at the lodge, but how is it? How is it he?
Well, you met Adam at
rose
least.
to top of the heap.
When he did the little 2-legged walk thing, he had the prettiest tutu. So we voted him in.
Okay. See, I buy that as well.
So something that's common with a lot of lodges throughout the country, they have something called a line of succession. So there's for us it's
15,
7 officers.
Yeah, seven major.
No.
Andrew's incorrect information. Number 1.
No. In
15 and 7 are.
There are 15 officer positions.
Correct. Okay.
But 7 that are required to become worshipful master.
I see.
Okay. So you start, when you become an officer or you're asked to be an officer, if you decide to go that route, you can more or less assume that within 7 years you're going to be the worshipful master. And Andrew has gone through a number of officer chairs positions. So it's his turn.
I see.
Yeah.
So we know right now in our lodge who's going to be worshipful master next year and the year after that.
God forbid something happens,
for sure,
outstanding, something like that.
Okay, so there is a
progression.
There's a line.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
There's a queue of people who are going to be moving through.
Absolutely.
Taking a year because it's only a year.
For New Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Oh, yes. Every state in the United States
is
different.
Wow. So it's like how my bank will only let me take a certain amount out of the ATM. But if I had, another bank,
yes,
my limit be higher?
Maybe higher, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So back to the solstice question. With our lodge specifically, we like to for the Master Mason degree, we like to do it outdoors during the solstice. And there's
sounds like hippie shit.
It does sound like hippie shit.
Big time. Yeah.
I mean, we got tiki
awesome,
torches going, and it's outside in a farm. Yeah, it's if you want to think of it that way, it's complete hippie.
It's very cool.
But it's a very meaningful experience, and it
like for the soul.
Yeah, actually, yes.
I'm genuinely asking. I'm not being snarky.
Honestly,
yes,
yeah.
there's now. Kevin and I went through that degree together.
Uh-huh.
We both received our Master Mason degree on the same night on the solstice, the longest day of the year.
So you could savor it more.
Absolutely. Yes. And the beautiful thing is that the farm that we went to is actually another brother from our lodge, Brother Jim Moretti, who was on our show, The Extended Branch.
Yeah.
He owns the cigar shop in Howell, New Jersey called Light 'em Up. And it was a joke because he also, like, again, farm. So he's got animals. He has a donkey. He's got horses, all this other stuff. So you're in the middle of this degree and things are going on that you can't talk, but all you hear is like horses and chickens and shit. And it's like, and you're teleported back to a time that isn't now.
Right.
You know, so.
Until some asshole's cell phone rings and then you're like, oh, sorry.
Damn it. So on
No.
that note, currently, as Worshipful Master, one of the things that I do during, especially degree nights, is before the degree starts, I make a statement saying that if I hear someone's cell phone go off, that's a $25 donation to the lodge.
Really?
It's a very somber and serious thing.
I wish I could enforce that socially. I'm tired of, a few people who cannot keep their phone in their pocket.
Yeah,
socially.
I'm one of them. I'll be guilty. Used to be more reserved about it. Now you're just like, I'm attached.
But yeah, I kind of wish something like that could be instituted just with people socially. There is a great thing I heard about, which one of our friends who shall remain nameless refused to do, which was everybody puts their cell phone in the middle of it, like when everyone's out to dinner, put your cell phone face down in a stack in the middle of the table. And the first person who reaches for it pays the bill. I said, that's an excellent thing. But one of our friends would not agree to it. We were like, let's all get together. Let's hang out.
Yeah.
Let's just be in the like everyone's wives and girlfriends and kids, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Unattended for 2 hours. Yeah. I mean, you guys are all here, so you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
You came out tonight, semi last minute. And it's like, let's just do that. So I love that you're actually making that a rule.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, be here, be present for this.
It's
this
live
moment.
action theater. The best way I can describe it without breaking any kind of code or anything.
I'm listening.
It's live action theater. So to ruin that moment by having your cell phone go off and we hear the fucking Star Wars theme or some nonsense, you're going to ruin that.
Who's Imperial March?
Yeah.
I heard Imperial March.
Aside from the officers that are doing this play, you know, the candidates.
Bunch of grown men putting on a play on a farm.
It's the easiest way to. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I know, but
when you're mentioning the Star Wars, I'm thinking of the Peter Griffin one. That who's texting me?
Man, this is becoming more charming than I expected, actually.
But yeah,
go on.
It would ruin the solemnity of the moment. Yeah, I know. Big $10 word from me.
Look at you.
You've broached a topic that I'm passionate about. This is what you get.
Apparently, yeah. I'm really I'm seeing a whole new side of this guy. He's talking about solstice and whatever that other word was. And there's a lot going on.
Solemnity.
Yes, yeah. Too many M's and N's.
Solemnity.
So yeah, that's the whole idea with the solstice. And like I said, Kevin and I went through on the same night during the actual solstice.
So
what? 5 years ago now.
2016.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a couple things. It's in case people don't know, it's the oldest fraternal society in the world.
Right.
Right. It comes from a collection of different philosophies, ideas, influences. It grew out of the Renaissance era where everybody was being as fraternal as they possibly could be, and egalitarian, and this really just open sharing of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very trendy to know that you could have royalty and people who work with their hands for a living, and they could be in the same place and be equal to each other.
Right.
So everything that we do is symbolic in a really weird way. But it's cool. Like I remember joining because of my college fraternity, and I was digging and like trying to find as much information as possible. It had a Greek background to it. So like when I got to a point where I was, basically badgering one of our national officers for more information, he was like, look, if you're really into this stuff, you need to know that there's more out there and you need to go look at Freemasonry. And that was from that point till when I finally joined was like 13 years.
Oh, wow. So
it was the right time. And I am definitely in for the esoterics and not the pancakes and the green beans and the stuff like that. Like I get the whole charitable thing, and I do support it, and I think everything that the lodge takes on, civically and everything, it's great. But that's not why I joined. And everybody is going to have a little different viewpoint. I mean, some people joined because it was a dinner club back in the 40s and
Right.
50s. People are not really doing that now. So
I don't know. If I'm promised pancakes, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Well, at least with our lodge, 6:30's dinner. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
listen, you're on
Pancakes
the
for dinner? Hang on.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
I did a couple
I
times. yeah.
enjoyed that this evening, actually.
You had did you?
Yes, we
Good
did.
for you.
Yes.
Love
I
it.
do love breakfast for dinner.
So what?
No, you're like you were looking for something. I was just like,
No, no,
Just
I-
like pancakes.
I am like my
Everybody's-
brain is
all I
thinking.
can see is the syrup being
This-
poured.
I'm thinking
wistfully.
about. I gotta. I wonder if IHOPs are back to being open 24 hours because I'm going to leave here tonight
Right.
and just go gorge
Power of
myself. I'm going to
suggestion.
find the 21 pounds I've lost over the last 5 months. One short stack
then
at a
he's
time.
definitely not becoming a Freemason.
No. But see, the funny thing is, I listen to what you're describing
Mhm.
as far as the ceremony of it, which is, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Every organization has its own kind of ceremony.
Right.
And it's interesting that I don't know that I could. I mean, I know you in how you don't, excuse me, take certain things seriously. However, you do take this seriously.
Mm.
But then there's me, and I look at this and I think,
Oh no,
I don't know that I could go
no,
along.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You be giggling the entire time.
Well, I mean, it's the same reason I couldn't
No.
speak at your wedding.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
No. As much as you, Ryan, Jack, all of our other. Jeez, I'm just destroying
Cohorts who
everything.
don't
Who the
smash
hell put that
microphones.
I don't know.
For your convenience.
I mean, I'm pulling away the microphone or the drink. Pick one.
But out of that cohort group, I think honestly the only people that I would say would understand or maybe possibly enjoy the moment would be Jack or Jimmy.
I can see Jimmy possibly.
Because there is that.
Yeah, it's cool. I'll
aspect.
join. Yeah, he's so lax.
Yeah, no, but I think he would enjoy it because he's kind of a I don't want to say geek, but like there definitely is an aspect of storytelling in like a D&D kind of way. And see, Billy,
No,
now I'm sparking.
hold on.
You're not wrong.
What? Oh God! What did I hit?
No, okay, fine. Just now.
No, please.
No.
Please.
Okay, it is not D&D.
That's why
It's
I
more.
made-
It's
that's
more of a
why I
WoW
made
guild.
face.
It's a wow.
If there's gonna be a hill that I die on tonight, it's gonna be that. Let's find another.
I'll be
analogy.
there.
Okay, I'm
It's
sorry.
not Dungeons.
What do
and
you guys got?
Dragons.
It's
Yeah,
not-
it's definitely.
Sorry, we don't have classes.
And you
I'm
trust
more
this guy as your
comfortable-
leader?
Yeah, apparently they do.
Somebody
I'm more
voted
comfortable
for
with
him.
farm-based male live-action theater.
This week on Farm-Based Male Live Action Theater, we present The Solstice, starring Worshipful Master Andrew Rizzitello,
That's
a.k.a. Diamond Drew.
Someone Diamond Drew.
Whoa.
That's it. Cut that sound. I'm using that at every lodge meeting.
That's every intro. Yeah. Oh, what?
Forget the openings. We're just using that.
Has Andrew had to MC any events as Worshipful Master? I mean, I realize we're getting out of a pet. Really?
Yes.
Can you tell if he's stealing other people's jokes? Because he's really big on that.
I don't know yet. I don't
Okay.
think so.
Because that's what I picture. I picture, and we now cut to a scene of Andrew speaking to a collection of
I
bored
can't
Freemason brothers.
I can't steal.
And the cop says to me, "Are you Andrew Tater Salad Rizzitello?" Like, I see, he really is
can't-
that guy
I
who will
can't-
jack other people's jokes.
I can't steal those jokes because they're highly inappropriate for the audience at hand.
Is that right?
Yes.
You kind of got to be appropriate.
I mean, look at what happened to us when we started.
This is true. I have in my vault.
He does.
I have the pilot episode of the Ascended Branch, which will be a Patreon exclusive, I guess, probably this week, since we're doing this. So
Oh, yeah.
if you're a
It'd be
Patreon supporter,
paywall, so only certain people could see it.
right? Yeah, the $5 tier, you get the bonuses.
Yeah.
$5 a month, but you get weekly,
Yeah.
weekly bonus shit.
But
So
so the pilot episode,
which
that
was rejected, which Andrew said, like, do you want it? I was like, do I? I want to do a commentary track for it. I just want to pick apart Andrew for the entire hour and 5 minutes.
We swore and drank alcohol.
Well, yeah, and I
Yeah.
get, and that's part of it, and that's why that my little kind of precursor at the beginning, just to say, like, look, they're not representing the organization as much as we're talking about it, because I know what Andrew's told, and Andrew's is about 50-50 when it comes to accurate information. So I figured let's get two people in here who know what they're doing, and maybe can provide some better insight.
So when it comes to information, actually, out of the three of us, I find now don't get me wrong, Kevin's a wealth of information, but like I said, he gets into the esoteric end of it. However, when it comes to factual information, when it like membership wise, Billy is the man.
I see.
And that's why on our show we have a game called Who's That Mason? And I specifically asked Billy to come up with one tonight for you.
All right.
So Kevin, we're off the hook tonight.
Okay.
All right.
But
let's do it. I love
like
a game.
Billy. Please read this off, and hopefully you're surprised by who this gentleman is.
All right.
Hopefully.
And we're still planning on having a sound drop for this in our show, but we'll get there eventually.
Okay. Well, I'll lay that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music that I did for Quarantine This or That under this segment.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. All right. So I'm going to warn you now. My clues are a little obscure at times, but I'll give you 3 clues.
All right.
They will get easier, hopefully.
Is this multiple choice? Like, do I get to pick from people, or I need to just?
No, you have to know.
Oh.
It's like trivia. It's like Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah.
Oh boy! All right.
Oh yeah. No. We are a brain organization. So
I'm out.
Again, Chris is not joining the Masons. Strike 2.
Yeah. I mean, pancakes are a maybe, but
the weight gain and
using your brain, brains and weight gain.
That's it.
Oh yeah, a lot of
there's your title: brains and weight gain.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Bring it on.
This famous Mason served in the U.S. Army prison for 2 years.
Oh, wait, one clue at a time?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is how it goes, man.
Jesus Christ.
Take your best guess if you want. I mean, you don't have to guess. There's no points. It's just,
I know. It's
I guess, but that's
nobody usually guesses after the first.
Yeah, no,
I mean, Army
unless
prison.
they're blatantly obvious.
Yeah, well, I did Mozart on the last one, and there was nothing I could have said that would not have given it away. There's really no information that doesn't steer you directly at Mozart.
Everyone knows his Ninth Symphony. That's Beethoven, Andrew.
Viennese.
No idea.
Okay, we'll go on to the next one.
Yes, let's go on to the next one.
This famous Mason won 5 Grammy Awards and the first Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize for American humor.
Buzz Aldrin.
Is Buzz Aldrin funny to you?
That guy's a laugh riot. Okay,
He is
underappreciated.
He was a laugh riot.
Oh,
Respect for the dead.
You know what the cool thing
How
about
dare
the thing about Buzz Aldrin? He was a New Jersey Mason.
He was. It was
Is that
awesome.
right?
Yes.
And he took his. We have aprons, so when we go into lodge, we wear special aprons.
As my wife calls them, we're short order cooks. Because
I see.
I
do.
guess.
Okay, serious. Is it Don Rickles?
No.
Oh, okay.
He wanted me to do Don Rickles.
I did. He is another one.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Last clue.
Yeah, last one.
I promise you'll get it after this.
Well,
This famous Mason.
I don't.
Oh, I do. This famous Mason was one of the bad guys in Superman 3.
Gene Hackman. No, I'm kidding. Richard Pryor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. That was it.
Yeah. Yep.
I hear the voice of the man behind the curtain.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of dog, engineer Chris. Here he is. Christian Cortez has joined the procession. Dude, you don't need it. No.
Yes.
This isn't their show. It's my show.
this is
you
his
jump
show.
in when you want to jump in.
Yes, Chris. Richard Pryor was a Mason.
Oh, yeah. He was.
No, what? Because you're not mic'd up? Take Andrews. He's just going to scream into it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Light lifting. Do you want to set one up and run over here to the table? Come on, man. We're on autopilot. Plug in and join the. All right. Anyway.
All right. So in the meantime, yes, Richard Pryor.
Yeah, while Chris finds his microphone. So yeah, I have some facts. So once I give away, once we figure out what it is, I'll let you know a little bit about him. So he was born in Peoria, Illinois, 1940, December 1st. Yes. And he died December 10th, 2005. That was it for Richard Pryor, unfortunately.
Right.
He lived a lot longer than
than the average Freemason.
Yeah, I mean, considering he set himself on fire smoking drugs, so that's
Twice. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite George Carlin bits.
Yep. And I had a third heart attack.
Yeah, it's like I have 3 heart attacks, which means in the comedian death pool, I'm beating Richard Pryor. He's like 3-1.
Yeah.
But Richard's beating me in setting yourself on fire.
There he is. There's the voice.
It's awesome.
So
I can't believe he was a Mason.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He was raised in the Henry Brown Lodge, number 22 in Peoria, Illinois, in the 60s. I couldn't find an exact date, but
he's a Prince Hall Mason.
Of course, I'm a Freemason, motherfucker.
You know what? I could absolutely hear him saying that.
Probably.
He served in the military, like I said before.
Right.
In prison.
In prison.
He went to prison. He served from 1958 to 1960. The reason he went to prison, according to a profile about him in the New Yorker, he was angered by a white soldier who was overly amused by the racially charged scenes of Douglas Sirk's film Imitation of Life, and he and a bunch of other black soldiers stabbed and beat the soldier. And
Jesus.
That's why he went
assault on government property.
If you're enlisted, it is. It is, That's your government property when you're enlisted. Wow.
So in 1963, he moved to New York, and he began performing regularly in clubs alongside like guys like Bob Dylan and Woody Allen to start off, opening for them.
Right. Bob Dylan, that's a hell of a fucking...
Right?
That's a hell of a show.
You imagine? Yeah, what a lineup that is.
No, oh my God.
It's like guys saying the N-word a lot, and then another guy was completely unintelligible.
When he first started out, he didn't say the N-word.
No,
he was a more clean-cut comedian.
He was inspired by Bill Cosby. That's the kind of comedian he wanted to be. And then here I have the story. So in September 1967, he wound up being on because of the Bill Cosby thing style, he wound up being on Merv Griffin and The Tonight Show, Johnny Carson and stuff like that.
Right.
But in September, he was in Vegas and he walked onto stage in the Aladdin Hotel and he looked at the audience who Dean Martin was a part of.
Wow.
And he looked at everyone and he was like, the fuck am I doing here? And he just walked out. He's like, that's it. And then the next time everybody saw him, he had, shirt untucked, bell bottoms.
Right.
And he was
complete.
cursing out everybody and everything. Yeah, that was it.
Someone ropes Dean up on stage. It's like, quick, these people paid to get him. I'm going to sit right down and write myself a letter.
So
it's like we got a lot of pissed off drunk people in the audience. Please get up there and sing a song, dude.
And it's funny, it's right around the time his parents died. So, I mean, I don't know if he was upset or not about that. His mother was an alcoholic who was a prostitute who lived in...
he grew up in a brothel.
And her mother's... and her mother's brothel and her father and his father. Well,
there's that moment, too. It's funny. You always hear about, the aforementioned George Carlin, at the moment when you realize, this isn't really who I am. I'm doing an impression of a comedian.
Right.
And then at the point when he was 30, he said, you know what? I'm playing to audiences older than me, and I don't identify with them. I identify with the younger crowd. So he grew a beard and his hair long and everything and started playing colleges. And the rest is history.
Mr. Conductor's ponytail.
Problem? Wait, so that's it? Only one?
I'm only going to give because I do. It goes on forever and ever. But
is anybody going to go on record and settle the question as to whether or not Jay-Z is a Freemason?
He's not.
I don't care. No,
he's not.
He's not.
More than
confirmed.
I don't.
He's not.
I'm just. It's one of those things people say, he's a Freemason, right?
KRS-One talks a big game. He's not.
Ice Cube.
No, the whole bullshit about Illuminati and they're showing off that nonsense. They're not.
Ice Cube's on
I don't know
Law and Order, isn't he?
That's Ice-T. And that's racist. No.
I'm not the person this time.
I'm racist.
Andrew, you're out of the barrel this week. Good for you.
I'm racist against Ice-type Pokemon. I apologize.
Wow. No. I'm ISISt. I don't like people who put ice in their stage name.
I'm speechless before. That was really
It's happening more and more. Yeah, it's something, right? Wow.
So, yes.
Okay, so we're not confirming any of these. Well, you're denying. You're saying, no, they're not.
I'm confirming that they're not. That they're not Freemasons.
I got
no.
you. Is there anybody we'd be surprised? I mean, Richard Pryor is one. Would absolutely surprise people. Christian he's Googling like crazy trying to get an answer. This has got to be bullshit.
I just want to point out.
Wikipedia famous Freemasons. And look them up.
So Andrew and I mentioned that he's a Prince Hall Freemason. So Prince Hall Freemasonry is the same, but just a little bit different. It's kind of a leftover. If you want to go back to the 60s. I mean, it goes back further than that, but it's...
Our name is Prince Hall, and we are funky.
I mean...
No.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's racist because Prince Hall...
Hey!
Go ahead, Billy.
So, Prince, it's the separation of basically the white men and the black men, because one of the things that we need for us is that you have to be freeborn. And
that term
freeborn.
So back in the 1800s,
they were not.
Right.
You were a slave,
but they still wanted to learn what we had to offer. So we gave them some information and some knowledge, what we like to call light, and then they formed their own lodges from that information.
So what happened is Prince Hall was an actual man. That's his name.
Oh, okay.
His name is Prince Hall, and he was a free black man in 1818.
Yeah,
1800s.
So it has to do. It goes all the way back to the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
In Massachusetts and everything. So he was given permission from it was either the Grand Lodge of England.
It was England,
right? So please start your own lodge. And the idea was, one of the things was look, myself and the other men that want to join serve in the same army with George Washington and all these other Freemasons.
Right.
We'd like to do this for ourselves. And they were like, yes, of course, we have no problem with that. And they gave him a charter. And
that's the legal representation that you can open a Freemason lodge.
So Prince Hall Freemasonry has existed ever since.
Yeah, I see. So and so that comes from. So the UK said, no, this is fine.
Yes.
Because in America we wouldn't say that.
No,
at that
of course
time.
not.
No way.
So as Kevin mentioned before, Freemasonry as we know it today is a conglomerate of many different things, dating back all the way to the Renaissance and possibly even further. However, written record of Freemasonry and how a lodge should operate exists only from 1717. That is the formation of the United Grand Lodge of England. Okay, when they united all these different lodges around the entire peninsula, Scotland, Ireland, things like that. And they said, all right, these are the rules. Does everybody agree? All right, let's do this. Okay. From there, it spread outward because obviously England, colonialism, guys still want to be a Freemason, still want to practice, but they don't, like I just mentioned, they didn't have a charter to practice Freemasonry, quote unquote, legally. All right.
Okay.
So obviously,
it's like pirate Freemasonry.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, very much so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they call it clandestine.
Yeah, that's the term.
Yeah.
I know of a Freemason that I would like y'all to guess with 3 hints.
Oh, okay.
All right,
bring it on, Christian.
Round 2.
Yeah.
So 3 hints. Hint number 1: this person had over 60-year career performing in radio, film, and television.
Bob Hope.
Nope.
Okay.
Abbott.
Also widely considered one of the greatest voice actors of all time.
Oh, from
Mel Blanc.
Thank
there you go.
Yeah, Mel.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why haven't you told me that? It's good enough for Mel Blanc, goddammit. It should be good enough for me.
There's a lot of other reasons why we didn't tell you that.
Mel Blanc and Pancakes. It's like number 1, we need pancakes for us. Number 2.
Mel, get on the grill.
Hold on. Something about death.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. Sorry, it's copyright infringement. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Freemason, folks.
Oh, I wouldn't. So, all right.
Oh, thank God, another normal person's here.
So, all right. Hold on a second. So back United Grand Lodge, England, charters, guys came over from England, obviously colonizing the New World and whatever else. They still wanted to practice Freemasonry. They had to get charters from England. Racism was much more heavily prevalent at the time. Slaves were still a thing. There were still free black men. There were free black men that wanted to practice, but again, racism. So Prince Hall, the actual man, went back to England and said, yo, I want to do this. They gave him a charter. He said, fuck you, Whitey, and started his own lodge. So well, I'm not wrong.
No, I just love it.
Stereotypically, Prince Hall Masonry is black.
Yes.
It is very people of color.
Yeah.
Right,
That's not saying that white men can't join it and vice versa.
But primarily, that's
how it is.
That's his origin story.
Yes.
They have
Now,
way
going
more
to
style than we do.
Oh my God.
I'll bet. Everybody wants to be a
more
member of Prince
style
Hall.
than that.
Dude, from what I've seen.
That's why Andrew's wearing that hat. He lives in that fucking hat
do.
because they wear him at Prince Hall.
So now going back to how he said Mel Blanc and being being a voice actor and actors in general. There is a lodge in New York and also part of the Grand Lodge of England where if you want to be a part of this lodge, you have to make your living in entertainment.
Really? So it's like the Friars Club.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or the Magic
what is it?
Castle?
Rick Wakefield?
The Magic Castle. Yeah. That's right.
Wakefield.
Rick Wakefield from Yes.
Yeah.
He's part of that lodge in England. Wakeman? I thought it was Wakefield.
Rick Wakeman.
The Yes Man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's part of that lodge in England. I know there's a famous comedian, and I can't name him. It's probably Abbott from Abbott and
Bud
Costello.
Abbott?
Abbott, yeah.
Who was part of the lodge in New York for that group, that specific group where they make their money.
You mention that one all the time.
I do not know the name off the top of my head. I'm a horrible person.
All right, Christian, your info bitch. Get on it.
Your info pitch.
Super famous lodge that's secret in New York.
Secret Lodge, New York, famous people.
Famous.
This
Is Jay-Z.
This studio has the most interesting Google search history of any single IP address on the planet.
Oh my
I
God.
guarantee it.
Oh my
Grand Lodge, New York. There it is.
Is that what it is?
No. Grand
I
Lodge is
see.
the overarching.
I see.
That-
So the Grand Lodge then, because
The organization.
you were saying some unkind things about them before we started. What does the Grand Lodge represent in the, let's say, the chain of command for Freemasonry?
I'll let you guys have it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I talk too much.
So,
No shit.
so the Grand Lodge is an elected body of brothers who represent districts in a jurisdiction, right? So in our country, every state is its own jurisdiction. So what is true in New Jersey may not be true other places. All right. So as you might imagine, like, we elect these people, they serve their term. There's opportunities to advance and to just represent larger, parts of the jurisdiction. There is a Grand Master for every jurisdiction. And that even has its own progressive line. So when guys run for junior Grand Warden, they're joining basically a 5-year process to become Grand Master.
And is that a single year as well?
That's a single year.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Unless you're our current one who
refuses to leave.
Well,
Yeah.
he actually voted
Frickin'
himself down
did.
2 years because of
Frickin'
COVID.
guy.
He voted to have he edicted himself.
This is a lame duck year. I'm
to
gonna
have 2
stick
years.
around and do what no one else
And
does.
it has been a very controversial subject within New Jersey, actually within all the jurisdictions, because as I've talked about on our show, Freemasonry being multi-jurisdictional, multi-country,
Worldwide.
it is
Freemason,
worldwide. So
worldwide.
there are many social media groups, including Reddit and Facebook and everything that we all...
WWF Worldwide Freemasonry.
Yes.
You guys are the new WWF.
We bring the chairs.
WWFA&M.
Y'all talk like Hulk Hogan.
I was wondering what that panda was for.
Yes! Kevin got him to
It was close. It was close. It was close. I couldn't stop taking a sip, but I cut myself off as soon as I knew the laugh was coming.
So the For Dummies books, you've seen them. There is a Freemason.
I've read a lot of them.
I know, I bet you have. So there's a Freemasonry for Dummies written by Brother Christopher Hodap. And in it, he's
See, if we were doing this somewhat last minute, I totally would have picked that up. Just for,
Oh, yeah, just
I would have been writing material
I have
all
it.
week.
I know you would.
Of course you have it.
So, and he keeps it really interesting and really, really vague in the respect of, like secrets and whatnot. But he runs a blog and he's a very prevalent figure on the Freemasonry subreddit. So a lot of the information that is disseminated through the various Grand Lodges goes to him, and then he further disseminates it across multiple media accounts.
Okay.
And obviously one of the things that happened was our New Jersey's Grand Master's decision to give himself another year because of lame duck terms.
Well, the whole Grand Line.
Well, yes, not just himself. He's
everybody.
pausing everyone's advancement.
But that was just in this state?
Just
that's why it was
yes.
a big deal?
Yes.
Yes,
COVID.
because of COVID.
Well,
Right.
Because COVID.
The real reason that it was a big deal is that every other worshipful master of their lodge didn't have the opportunity to have that discussion.
I see.
Right. So,
But they took it upon themselves. To
so
say,
yeah. So it's a little taboo. There is no precedent for it, certainly. But like it's very taboo because for example, the guy that was the worshipful master before Andrew,
Peter.
Oh, Pete. Yeah.
wonderful guy, but he could have made the same claim.
Right.
And
that's
much
that's
more
hard
so.
to sell. That's a hard sell. So
Yeah. Well, because we're just a short distance from basically ground zero for the spread of COVID. So in New Jersey, it actually you could make that argument, I guess, as opposed to maybe other states. But that is interesting that even that was
it's very disheartening, especially like Kevin said, the worshipful masters throughout the state didn't really get to have that conversation. Plus, when the Grand Master announced it, he announced it at the beginning of this year. He had only been elected in November.
Yeah.
So when
he never technically had he never had a year. He had 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh, so how does that even count?
That's the big argument.
That's my problem with it. It's like
now, had he announced that next month and said, listen, I missed out on 3, 4, 5 months of my year because of COVID, I would like to claim a lame duck year, then maybe we would have been a little bit more amicable to it.
Right.
But because it was kind of like right off the hip, this crap happened and I'm claiming lame duck. It's like, dude, you didn't even start yet.
Yeah, you haven't done anything yet.
So that's the big thing. You're brewing over there. What?
No, I'm just, you said amicable, and I'm just.
Yeah, I don't appreciate
I'm
being
hung up
called a
on that.
Mick. I really.
Wow.
Well, I wasn't going to go down that route. I was just, I was just.
What do we call you? What do we call you?
World Star!
Spicker.
No, Mick Spick.
Mick Spick. That's
The,
right.
He's
Mick
Cuban.
The emphasis was
Really?
on the wrong
Sí,
syllable.
solo medio.
That's the beautiful thing.
I got nothing. I can't top that.
Nope.
And I'm not repeating it.
Nope.
So there's that.
Yeah. So yeah.
So interesting big doings in the New Jersey
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmaster
Big doing.
lineage. That's crazy.
It's almost one of those things,
It is absolutely the case that if you join a group, whether you're in the group, you're affected by all the drama that goes on, or you're outside the group and you're just poking holes at it.
Right, yeah.
Like it's
Poking holes and see if it floats?
there's
No, Andrew,
no-
that's not the way things work.
So it is. I mean, for the nice thing that I'll offer is, for any one thing that we could say that might be negative is, there's a great counterbalance
Yes.
of stuff that is really cool, right? Not
Yeah.
just like, oh, we do nice things. No, it's really cool. Like, we'll do it like a Scotch and cigar night, or we'll take a trip to Gettysburg. Or we'll go up to Boston and like walk the Revolutionary.
That was fun.
I heard you guys are the
Like-
other group that got Andrew to go out of state.
Like
Freedom Trip.
That was a big deal. Like, Andrew's going
It's-
where?
And I planned it too.
It's a lot of
He
fun.
sure did.
That's
it was
crazy.
Fun, yeah.
It's
I want
a lot
that
of
cinnamon
fun.
ice cream. That's
We
what
were-
it is.
I tried.
Ah.
We were in a parade on Monday.
So yeah, for the
Memorial Day parade. The longest running Memorial Day parade in New Jersey.
147th.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the governor walked with us. The current
Really?
Governor Murphy, walked with us. I mean, he was in and out. He walked with the town council.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in and out as soon as the parade was pretty much over. But
And Adam.
Where was this oldest Memorial Day parade?
in
what
the
town?
borough, in Freehold Borough.
Main
Oh.
Street, Freehold Borough.
Yeah, right down
Oh, okay.
79,
Right,
537.
right.
Yeah, about a mile and a half we walked.
Oh, that's funny. I
So-
didn't even know that was a thing. It's honestly.
Springsteen shows up. Like,
Oh,
just
for sure.
sit-
He grew up on
but like,
Institution Street.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so he'll sit on the side and take photos and whatnot. And like I
Mhm.
said, the governor walked to this year. There was a Peruvian group that had these beautiful dresses on because they were doing their whatever the dance is called, because I'm not going to say the right word.
no, you
Peruvian
won't.
dance. It's
Yeah.
Peruvian dance.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
doing Peruvian dance, traditional Peruvian dance.
Okay, we'll call it that.
Let's just be polite.
Yes, but like it was a very good showing, especially after the year that we had.
Yeah.
Kevin mentioned the Boston trip, or actually no, Billy mentioned the Boston trip. Kevin
No.
mentioned Gettysburg,
Mhm.
which if you go to Gettysburg, there's actually a Freemason monument.
Freemason monument.
The
To whom?
What is it called?
So it's
The fallen soldiers.
No.
It says
Fallen
a
brother.
friend and a brother, but it's a statue, very very large statue of a Confederate general who's
Boo!
basically dying,
Oh, really?
and he's being tended to by one of the Union Army privates who also was a Freemason.
Gotcha.
So and the same thing, you could say it about every battle of the Civil War,
Mhm.
every battle of the Revolutionary War. The guys that were Freemasons found it in the course of the battle to kind of sneak away and have a meeting, like
Right.
from both sides together.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool. I mean, if you unpack the whole thing, like you could talk way too long about any of this stuff.
Right.
But everybody wants to, make a big deal about what's his name, the guy. So it's George Washington, and then who's the traitor? What was the name again?
Benedict
Arnold.
because both of them were Masons.
Both Freemasons,
Mm.
and both went to West Point and all kinds of stuff.
held
One of those
lodge
things is
together,
wrong.
all that stuff.
But like,
Huh.
but yeah, like there's a whole level of like,
And
soap opera.
and not to get overly esoteric, but Benedict Arnold, Eggs Benedict, bringing it back to breakfast.
Right.
It's all cyclical.
That's yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you were saying, Ben and Carl. I'm like, eggs. I'm so going to IHOP.
That's what we do. It's how we draw you in.
Yes.
I mean, it's working. I'm not gonna lie. You're tempting me with empty calories, and I'm about it. So
everything's connected to your colon.
I think so.
Is that what that was?
That might be the title too.
Freemasonry. It's connected
Freemasonry.
to your colon.
Everything's connected to your colon. Visit freemason.org.
How did we not get that commercial?
We're gonna work
Call
on
the
it.
Scottish
We're gonna
Rite.
work
Let's
on
do
it
this.
and figure it out.
Forget the whole be a Mason.
just
Not just a man a Mason thing.
Well, yeah, hang on.
Freemasonry. We're all connected to your colon.
Now you hit into something
Okay.
that I want to know about. So
Okay.
this Scottish Rite business.
Yes.
What it? Oh, you're out. You're tapping out. Okay.
Well, he's not.
Okay. What do you want to be? Is this a jealousy thing or?
One day. No,
Okay.
no.
I got you.
Go ahead.
So now you got numbers on your name.
Yes, I do.
And you're
Kevin does also.
so with the Scottish Rite.
Yes.
What is this about?
Okay. So when I
Because I just want to laugh maniacally,
Of
just
course
because
you do.
Andrew's a part of it.
Yes.
So, but I actually am
Well, then
curious
we need
because
to go through the titles.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
wait.
really?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Oh, you get titled. Yes. So what do we?
I'll
What do we?
find them.
Okay.
You go ahead.
All
I'll
right.
find
So
the titles.
so after you become a Master Mason, at least in New Jersey, you have a 6-month waiting period, and then you can join what are called appendant bodies. You've heard of the Shriners?
sure. Oh, you're one of them now too.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
I am a Shriner. I get to wear
That's
the funny,
my name.
funny little fez and drive the funny little cars if I wish.
Please do.
I
at least need a photo of it, like that Dead Kennedy's Frankenchrist album cover. Like I want you in that. Look up Frankenchrist Dead Kennedys, Christian. Bring it up for everybody to see. You know, you know.
That's a great
See,
cover.
that's right.
Yeah.
See, I'm playing to the audience.
I know.
I'm telling you.
The intimate secretary.
Yes.
Hello.
A
lot of CEOs
Which
got
one is
those.
that?
That's
Which
like,
degree is that?
It's,
That's like the one from Blazing
6.
Saddles.
It's 6.
That's right.
Help
yeah,
me-
it's
help
like
me in with this. Help me in
Miss-
with this.
Oh, I can't remember her name. Yeah. Just think of your secretary. That's
yeah,
it.
Good
Frank-
suggestion.
Yeah, that's literally the Shriners. Yes.
Yes, that I know. That's the first thing I think of when you say
Yeah,
Shriners and
that's-
little cars.
Yes.
Now, when you said Shriner, as much as that came to mind,
yes.
I thought it was this Freemason Fred we've referred to, who you've gone on these trips with. I thought maybe his last name was Shriner, and like you two were getting married. Like I thought it was just like, I'm a Shriner now. Like Fred Shriner and I have gotten married. I am Andrew Rizzitello Shriner. Yes, I'm keeping my maiden name.
Who's this
And
Fred?
adding a
My
hyphen.
Fred? Does Fred look like
Freemason Fred is somebody who he's apparently
He's just-
traveled to Boston with, and I guess Gettysburg and all sorts of stuff, which
He's just making this.
it's got a.
No,
I
not
don't
you.
think I
You
am.
Stop it right
I've heard
now.
a lot.
I'm trying to think who it is.
I don't think. I don't know
If
who it
anyone,
is.
it's
but
you.
I keep hearing about this
Because
hypothetical person who Homeboy's about to
It
tip
might be
over.
me.
That's really
I
funny.
I think he may be.
Good for them.
That might be the art where they're doing stunts in their little cars.
Yep. And the clowns.
That's why you had a Jeep. Yeah, that's why you had a Jeep.
No,
Christian,
if
Send me
anything, I
that
want the
photo. I need that
Corvettes.
photo. Send me that photo.
He's going to
of-
superimpose our
of that
faces on
dude.
it now.
You have no idea the things I'm going to do.
Okay, the
I'm gonna
fix is
manipulate
in.
these photos.
All right.
Okay.
The 29th degree.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
The Scottish Knight of St. Andrew.
Yes.
Oh, there you
Part
go.
of the Rose Croix. No, Rose Croix is 1819.
How much money did you give them?
I gave them nothing.
All of the money.
Yeah,
all of the money he gave them.
Because St. Andrew is something to do with golf, and we can't have any part of that.
It's a Knight Royal Axe.
Like,
Yeah, St. Andrews is
Prince
where
of Libanon.
the game was invented.
So, anyway,
I don't know. I'm Irish, not Scottish.
Shriners are an appendant body of Freemasonry. You have to be a Master Mason in order to join the Shriners. Specifically with the Shriners, when you pay your dues, because it's a separate group, so obviously you pay dues to it. That money goes to the Shriners hospitals and a little bit toward, to keep the building that you go to specifically open.
I feel like all of this is the devil's way of saying you're making too much money.
It's tithe.
Because
It's
you're-
tithing.
you're-
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
paying into all these different organizations.
So,
And it sounds like a lot.
So Scottish Rite is also another branch of that, and Scottish Rite is another thing that's not cultural, but multiple countries that are involved with it.
So do you need to be a Shriner to be in the Scottish Rite?
You only have to be a Master Mason.
It used to be that way a
Okay.
long time ago. That when they first designed the Shriners, you had to be a Master Mason, you had to go through the York Rite, you had to go through the Scottish Rite, and then you could apply to be the.
This is like a gauntlet.
absolutely.
It really.
But it
So,
was.
so then they realized they don't have any Shriners that can't pay their dues,
Ah.
and their rent.
So
So they were like, okay, we're not going to do that.
we're going to
for
loosen the
Shrine.
belt a little bit
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
we
And
need,
plus-
we need recruits. We need
plus
fresh blood.
When it comes to specifically the Scottish Rite and what we call the York Rite, there is that play that we were talking about, that story, that moral allegory that you were taught through the first 3 degrees is continued. through the different degrees of the York Rite or the Scottish Rite. The Scottish Rite having literal numbers 4 through 32. 33 is an honorary degree that is bestowed upon you if you are. I don't want to say the word.
After a great contribution.
Yeah, you've done a lot of work for them. You've given them money, whatever the cause. Then they'll turn around and say, "All right, you are now allowed."
So it's like the Lifetime Achievement Oscar, that
guess,
kind of thing.
yeah, if
like
you want to consider that
for dedication to the cause,
yes,
you get
you get this 33rd degree. You get to wear another funny hat, and a
lot of headgear involved in this whole organization.
Yeah,
too. There's giving money. There's hats.
It's very much like the church. No,
it's a
wait.
lot. I mean,
don't look at me like that, Kevin.
So what's your number?
I'm a 32nd.
Okay, so your worshipful master Andrew Rizzitello the 32nd.
So the two
how does it what's on your
32nd of his name?
Yes. House of Rizzitello.
What's on your card?
Okay, so
if you were handing out a card, if we were at a mixer,
oh God,
and you were like, please come check out Olive Branch Lodge number 16. Here's my card. Like, what would be on it?
That's just it.
I know
that's
that
where
guy.
it stops. That's where it would stop. You separate them all.
Really?
Appendant bodies are appendant bodies. So it
So
would
you
be,
have to
so
have
if I'm
different
if I'm saying I'm worshipful master of Olive Branch, that's all it's going to say on that card.
I see.
If I'm saying I'm part of the Scottish Rite, I am Andrew Rizzitello, 32nd degree.
Okay.
If I'm saying I'm part of the York Rite, I am Andrew Rizzitello, Knight of the Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Because I finished all of the different degrees within York Rite, which in and of itself has 3 bodies. So, which culminates in the Masonic Knight Templar.
Big word.
Not the Knight Templar that you hear about in friggin' all this other nonsense.
In power metal?
Yeah.
At the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah, not that kind of
No.
Knight Templar. We are Knights of the Temple. We take influence from what those Templars did.
There's temples, there's lodges, there's farmhouse theater.
Yes.
There's a lot baked into this.
Yeah, so if you're a theater kid, you'd love us.
Oh yeah, yeah. Lots of roles.
Oh my God, yes.
I'll bet. Every year the cast changes. Everybody,
Yeah.
Just jump in on it.
Well, depending on the role, sometimes no, they don't change because there are very specialized people.
So the Shriner card would be Andrew Rizzitello, Shriner, or Shriner Andrew Rizzitello, or do you just
noble?
forfeit your?
It'd be noble Andrew Rizzitello.
Really?
Yeah, unless I go through their line, in which case it changes, and I don't remember all the titles.
So if you're a Knight Templar, then are you Sir Andrew Rizzitello of the
Sir Knight?
Sir Knight.
Yes. So is Kevin.
Really?
That's right.
Kevin and I are Sir Knights.
I need to see both of you guys in chainmail.
Don't tempt us.
Christian. We got our cartoon.
I am.
We got our
heavy
cartoon
enough already.
Kevin and Andrew get called into service. Like they'd call for hello, this is Queen Elizabeth, and I'd like to call the knights into service. And like these two have to slip into some chainmail.
It'll be on a double block with Loudmouth.
Loudmouth and Big Kahuna. Oh my God. Monday nights are heating up.
I want to be stationed at Castle Anthrax.
Don't we all?
I don't even care if that has anything to do with either the virus or the band. I want to be there.
I mean, you're out. Let me just say, if you don't get that reference, you're out.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's
What
just
reference?
sad.
Don't
You
start
son of don't do this again. No. We're not going down that rabbit hole again.
Did y'all see that clip that they posted?
Yeah,
God.
it's priceless. Even funnier watching it back. If you haven't seen, go to the YouTube channel, the Half-Ass Media channel, or Kate Pod on Instagram, and you'll see Christian
masterfully
dropping a pop cultural bomb on us.
Yeah,
it's
That turned
really,
out to
really
not
funny.
Be true, by the way.
Yes.
But scared the hell out of Andrew.
And Chris.
Well, I was
more so than you.
I was doing comedic exaggeration. I mean, I wasn't that. I've dropped enough references to things that people don't get that I'm used to being mirrored. But yeah, Andrew had this throbbing vein right in his forehead that was just gonna pop. It was pretty amazing. So anyway.
I'm going to bring it back to the beginning of the show where Chris asked what brought you in.
Hey, don't do that. We're not wrapping it up yet.
No, we're not wrapping it up.
Whose show is this?
But Billy has been rather quiet this entire time. So I want to...
He's a utility player. He's happy to jump in.
I was going to just say, to answer your question.
The reason I was interested in
From an hour ago.
Curiosity.
Later that same night.
3 hours later.
Go ahead.
when I was younger, it's curiosity. So when I was younger, I grew up in Neptune, New Jersey. It's right next to Asbury Park. And I went to Catholic school. And on my way to Catholic school every morning, I would drive down Route 33 and I would pass a building that had a very unusual design.
Like knights and guys in funny hats driving Jeeps. And...
No, even better.
It was Andrew's.
Oh, really?
The front of the building.
That was the front of the building.
Was Andrew's
Was
hat.
a square and compass.
Wow.
It's still there.
So it's still there. You can still drive down Route 33 and
now it's a church.
And, yeah, but the
I'm
shape
good.
of the facade of the building is still there. So I was very interested. I didn't know what it was, and I was in Catholic school. I didn't know what to do, but I lived, fortunately, close enough to ride my bike to the library, and I did a little research, and I found out that they were a secret organization, and they had ties to kings and noblemen and stuff. And I thought, oh, this is very neat. So, but I got older, and I kind of forgot about it, and when I got a little older, I started driving around and I started to notice that there were lodges everywhere, and it made me interested again. And I started, trying to find a way. And I found out, just from being alive, and unfortunately, I'm old enough to remember days when there was no such thing as internet. And I had a Nokia.
You had to buy 40 books from Encyclopedia Britannica to learn anything.
Absolutely,
those are the days.
I found out that you had to know a Mason to become a Mason, and that, for me, I was like, all right, well, if there's ever a way for me to learn this stuff one day, I will. But and honestly, what got me through the front door, I knew about the lodge in Freehold that we go to now, and I was at my grandmother's funeral, and my little cousin, my youngest cousin,
I love how you call him little.
Yeah, see, because you guys don't know him.
No, we don't know.
Like,
we're speaking about a gentleman named Armando.
Armando, yeah.
Okay.
And he's my little cousin.
He's 7'3".
No,
but he's
he
tall.
is not.
He's taller than Billy
in
and built.
Personality, yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, he's think of Tony Montana, and that's this guy. Like,
all right,
just flamboyant and outgoing, and that
Christian.
As a
That's who I'm picturing.
As a 9-year-old, he came home to his parents and said, "I would like to go to military academy." And he did.
Wow.
He went to Valley Forge.
At 9?
At 9 years old, he was like, I'm good. I want to go to military academy. Let's do this. So we were at his house after my uncle's house afterwards. And he's like, hey, you want to see something cool? And we went up into his room, and I thought we were going to smoke weed, but that's not what happened.
Come on, you're off to military school anyway. You're old enough.
And he was like, here, look at this.
That's Armando.
Yeah, that's my little cousin. That's my baby cousin.
I still laugh at that because
all right, stop trampling all over his stories. Calm down over there.
Anyway. And he was like, oh, here, look at this. And he had this crazy flower. It was a flower that my grandmother liked. That's what he was showing me. But on the lapel of his jacket was a square and compasses. And I was like, oh, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with that, man? Like, you can't wear that. That's like secret society stuff. Like, you can't wear that unless you are one.
Unless you're in the club.
Right, yeah. And he's like, well, funny thing, I am in the club. And it's like 10 minutes from your house, the one I'm at. I'm like, right. You're the one in Freehold? And he's like, yeah. He's like, come anytime you want. And I walked in, and Kevin and Andrew were actually cooking. I don't remember what
we were
was.
Stewards.
Yeah.
We were stewards.
Pork chops and fries. That's probably what he was making.
He was no. They cooked. I mean, there was the one time when he did the peanut butter and jelly.
That was the end of the year
without even cracking open the fucking jar.
The last.
Wait, hang on. No, you sit there and take it, Junior. I got to hear about this.
Okay.
So who made the peanut butter and jelly? And
nobody.
So everyone went hungry.
He just
what a chip.
No. He opened a jar, jammed a knife into it, and put a couple loaves of bread and said, go at it.
I kind of respect that. I got to say.
It was my last day as steward. It was the last day that we would be going, either moving up in the line or whatever. So my final meal of the year, I bought 2 giant loaves of King's white bread, a giant thing of
peanut butter.
Keeping with the theme, King's white bread.
I didn't even think of that.
Gotta talk to me about this
thing of jelly, and like Billy said, opened it up, shoved the knife in, and said,
"He's like,
yours.
Fuck you all, feed
you
yourselves,
ungrateful fuckers."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm done.
Make your own sandwiches.
It was the cheapest meal all year.
It was like mess hall duty. Like you do that for a week in boot camp.
Yeah,
you got to work in the mess hall. It's kind of.
I love you guys, but enough.
Yeah,
I'm done.
It's like you guys want to eat. Here's your food.
Yep.
Whereas
that's awesome.
Is the food spicy? Yeah, it tastes good.
Oh my god!
Wait. There's a story. Wait,
go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin, please. I got to hear this.
No, but I'm just saying.
In general.
if you're going to go somewhere and somebody's going to cook you a meal,
just be grateful.
It doesn't matter what my age is. Somebody makes food for me. I'm going to say thank you.
Yep.
Gratitude.
I'm going to eat everything off the plate, and I'm probably going to have a second plate. But like,
right on. Now you're speaking my language.
This is what it is.
Thank you for cooking. This was definitely food.
So I'm not going to be a steward again anytime soon.
No, I bow out.
But to walk into to like a Wegmans, like every week and buy $400 worth of food.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, they're like,
nuts.
What? You know.
Yeah,
like I got to feed 20 guys.
Some party.
20, 30 guys every Tuesday.
I got to make.
You know.
I got to make ham sandwiches and.
But there's some ungrateful jackass who's just like,
no.
I thought that was a real quote. I thought because every group is one guy.
Not ungrateful, but the quote of "Is this spicy?" definitely happens.
You've been out to dinner with these people where they need to change everything on the menu, and then when they get it, why is this not the way I said?
Bunch of Sallys.
Yeah.
When I Met Sally, you seen that one?
Drives me crazy.
Actually, no.
You son of a bitch. Anyway.
They say it exactly like that, too. Why is this not everything the way I said?
Yeah. You're weak and passive-aggressive like that?
What do you mean I have to put my own Frank's Red Hot on it?
Yeah, that's a real chore.
Shut up, Bob.
So,
yes.
Obviously, it's been a strange year. I'm talking about just even this almost first half of 2021.
Yeah.
You've been under Andrew's leadership now. Well, I have to at least chuckle when I say that. For a little bit, yes.
Yeah, confidently.
What's the funniest thing about dealing with him?
Character assassination. Great. I was.
Is that right?
Yeah. Get to this.
We always get to it. Andrew's going to sit here quietly and just listen.
Just unplug me. I'm not going to say
anything.
That's right.
That's right. We're not in the lodge anymore, Toto.
Kevin, you can go first. I know no longer. I'll give you.
I just
something springs to mind. I mean,
Kevin, I've done this show with him long enough. Have at it.
I'll throw a couple of lines in the water if they'll help.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so misinformation. He's big on getting things wrong. He's big on only eating things with a face and a mother. What else? He deep fries everything. So you see, we got one. Second try.
Yeah, I love that.
Masculine insecurity we touched on right off the bat. So there have to be a lot of things. Let's see. Guns.
Go ahead.
Guns, cigars. Keeps upgrading to bigger and bigger vehicles. We all know what that represents.
Well, we could talk about so there's no secret that we have a Tyler, right? And the Tyler is usually
like a Tyler Durden or someone who actually spackles and tiles a room.
So it's
to see Peter do that.
To tile a lodge means to have somebody that sits outside of it and stands guard ceremonially, right? And this person is given a sword, right?
Oh, legit? Oh no, you laugh. It's true.
I know. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah, I mean, if you guys were making it up, I'd be like,
there are things that are up to the worshipful master's purview to change as they see fit, to tweak for their year. So I had not been to a lodge, to a meeting in a while. And I came in and they called the Tyler in to get the sword. And I look up at Andrew, he's sitting up and he brings out a halberd.
Yeah.
You know, this thing, this gigantic wushu pole.
And, all those years in Hot Topic paid off.
I guess so. I mean,
and
he was ready.
And
all this time you didn't know it was leading toward that moment. All those angry high school years.
And with, Peter, who's the Tyler, I say with love, he wouldn't just the mechanics of the body would not allow him to use a pole arm. So that was I was like you rock on, worshipful master. It's like if you gave that to a midget.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's pointing to a Stormbreaker replica for those of you listening.
Not that Peter's that short, but that was a very large axe.
Peter's probably about 5'5", 5'3" ish.
Oh, yeah.
And this pole arm is taller than I am. And I'm sitting, 3 steps up
on your throne, on the worshipful master throne,
with this pole arm in my hand, and I tell him to come up and
Tyler,
get it.
come hither.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then he
has to take it and back down,
What, like kneel before the
No,
worshipful
not
master?
kneel, not
or-
kneel, but like you can't turn your back on the worshipful master. Literally, you can't turn.
Oh,
around.
okay. That's why you couldn't wait to get in this position.
Yes,
You're like,
absolutely, yes. I'm just like staring.
that's right. Worship me. I've been working on, hey, do it slower.
Easy.
That's why Christian's looking at his phone right
Yeah,
now.
it's like, can you turn the air on, please? Andrew's rubbing his nipples, and it's, well, turn it up, because things are heating up here on Cape 170. But
Oh, Christ.
He's doing a nice job.
Is he?
Honestly, he really is.
Yes.
all right. I mean, I didn't want to hear that, but it's
Yeah, I mean,
it's something.
We're in June now, so he's
I'm still surviving.
Yeah.
he's coasting down the hill at this point.
Yeah. Well, now things are getting back into the swing of it. That's why it's been an interesting time for him to kind of step into this position. And that's what I said to him. I was like, really, of all this, like, it's in one way, I guess it's kind of good because there were limited lodge meeting with capacity restrictions and things like that.
Right.
Like, it was kind of limited to, I guess, just essential officers, personnel.
You're right. You're correct. You were correct.
Only the most important Templar Knights of the Worshipful Masters under the Worshipful Master's command or something.
Number 32.
The Crimson
Come on,
Guard.
right. Yeah.
Oh, God.
The Emperor's Crimson Guard.
Only 20 seconds to 30 seconds allowed in the lodge this week.
That's right.
But anyway,
No exposed.
but now that things are coming, I mean, there's summer events coming on. There's cookouts. There's drinking beers and shooting deers events that he's going to be emceeing. Like, there's a lot of
That's
stuff
a real
going
thing.
on that I believe it. It sounds
Yeah.
like it.
It's a very real
No,
thing.
I mean, we definitely,
So-
we know, like, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so actually now he's able to, do more of what he typically would be after what's been a pretty rocky first half of the year.
Yeah.
That now it's actually,
the phrase
there's stuff
the
actually happening.
The phrase I've been using is the diesel engine is now started.
Right.
Because like the first half of the year, it's kind of just cranking over and getting warmed up. And now since restrictions have been lifted, at least here in New Jersey,
Right.
I'm able to have more people indoors, a lot more people outside.
Sure.
Finally, we actually had a degree last month. So we got to bring in 3 new gentlemen into the fraternity, which was as weird, as much fun as you made, as much as you made fun of it at the beginning. It was nice to be able just to do that, to have that many people in lodge and be able to perform the ceremony.
Right.
With summer for us, we go quote unquote dark, where we have no business meetings until September. So the lodge is pretty much completely relaxed.
Vacation.
Well, they will have to.
I'm getting a copyright strike for that.
You are. They got the just no sound for that higher.
Yeah, this is going to be a big mute. Sorry, everybody.
But like you realize people are going on vacations. They're going out with their families,
Sure.
summer break, etc. So like, why are we
Right,
going
so
to try and
don't
force
conduct
them?
business? Yeah, in the middle of this time of year.
July and August.
Right.
So we all go back to formal business in September. But the lodge is still open. Every Tuesday night, guys still gather, have some drinks. Some guys rehearse ritual upcoming for the remainder of the year. The new worshipful master, like we said, is progressive line. So there's kind of an idea of who's going to be next in line. He's starting to form his committees and his officers and plan out his year. So while we may say that we're dark, the engine's still going. Just the lights are off.
I see. It's idling.
Yes. Yeah.
You're not on the road. You're
Yes.
idling in the driveway until
Yes.
September.
Yes. Yeah,
That makes
that's
sense.
a good allegory for it.
So is that something you two are interested in? The worshipful master position?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy answer. Okay. Moving on, Kevin.
How much time do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
Okay.
Okay. And
If nothing happens.
Yeah.
Right.
If nobody goes anywhere. Yeah, I got
Because that's one of the reasons why I skipped.
2.
Because like Kevin said in the beginning of the show, it should be a 7-year. Really, it should be a
Oh, no.
13-year thing if you go
Wow.
every chair.
Oh.
But it's typically a 7-year thing.
right.
During my time going through the line, 3 people dropped out. So I skipped ahead. I skipped chairs.
Mhm.
And I honestly wanted to go back to this because the chairs that I skipped had very important roles in the lodge, like doing the ceremonies. I kind of missed out on performing those duties. I'm grateful that I'm where I am, but I kind of want to go back and go, yeah, I want to sit as.
And there's no
deacon.
problem with that going into a different
depending on
on the progressive line.
whoever, yeah, progressive line,
Who
you
is
know.
due?
So like say next year, upcoming year, Lee is the gentleman that we is, if so elected, will be worshipful master next year. if something happens to anyone above Billy, he can be asked, hey, do you want to step into this role? And he has that ability. There are 5 positions. Yes. 4.
I'm not familiar with.
Do I hear 3?
Vote elected officers.
I'm
There's
not
5.
gonna lie, the way that you did it, it sounded like you were talking to someone else, but they were just not responding or just not there, and it freaked me out for a second.
Well, yeah, Christian's like, oh God, has everybody been raptured? I was I was on a subreddit and it was just me and Andrew in the room. What happened?
Elected officers.
So,
5.
It's 5. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So there's 5 elected officers where your name is presented. The lodge votes on whether or not they want you in this position, and it has to be unanimous. And then you're installed in this position. Worshipful Master, Senior, Junior Warden, or Senior and Junior Vice President.
Yep.
Treasurer and Secretary.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 5 voted in.
Voted in.
And we make a joke about the treasurer and secretary because that's a role that should not change unless it's planned.
Just the one time until death. It's like marriage.
It really is. Had Adam been here, we would have 100% been
Well, now people are tuning out.
Yeah, we would have 100% been making jokes about how he's chained to his desk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Because he's the secretary and has been the secretary for at least the last 7 years.
Mm.
But there's so much information in both the secretary and the treasurer position that you can't just vote them out and vote a new person in without there being an understudy or someone prepping for that position. You know, there has to be a listen, I'm going to leave at the end of the year. This guy's going to take my spot kind of thing.
Gotcha. So now we've covered a lot, even though I'm sure it's not nearly everything.
No.
Not even close.
In terms of the history, in terms of the ranks and position, in terms of Scottish Rite and Templars and all kinds of business going on. So then what is, in 2021, the business of Freemasonry? Like you guys, I mean, Andrew said that there's a large charitable element to it.
Yeah, we do.
And what is it that, like, if you're telling somebody who doesn't know, because we've given a lot of information to people.
The elevator pitch.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as long as the elevator takes an hour to get to your floor, then yes. But how is it you guys would describe the organization as far as what you do in the day-to-day in modern times without there being, I mean, aside from standing outside holding your pole and all sorts of stuff?
So civically,
yes,
we try to identify, people and projects and things that we could become involved with or support in the freehold area and then certainly throughout New Jersey, because we are a civic organization that supports the community, right? So it's very much like the Knights of Columbus, the Elks, the Rotary Club. These are important organizations. So they all have their own kind of earmarked things that they like to do. We're going to continue to do those things, but that's the outward. That's the very public face of Freemasonry. One of the things that we do, if people are familiar with Freehold. There's Elks Point there, and we play a part in a ceremony of laying wreaths there every winter.
Oh.
Have you heard about Wreaths Across America?
The name, but I don't know what it.
Okay.
I mean, I can picture it, but I don't know exactly what it is.
What Kevin is describing is that in Freehold.
I see.
So we, so it's things like that, and we're very happy to be a part of all of those things.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we take care of the members just the same way that any other group would be taking care of its members. That could be financially. That could be, just well-being, checking in on people, giving people, rides and things like that. We go once a month to the senior center.
Before COVID, yes, we have the veterans home. Before COVID happened, every month we would have our day that we would go to the veterans home and just hang out with the vets, move them around, play games with them, whatever was needed. We would spend the day there.
So it's cool. Like this, that stuff is simple and it's easy, but that's not, here's the thing. You can't point at that and say, well, that's Freemasonry.
Right.
Because you can't point at any one thing and call it Freemasonry. And we do not have the market cornered on things like that, on things like fraternalism or ritual or esoterics or philosophy. Like
Definitely a
we're
jack of
just-
all trades.
It's
Yeah. It's broad spectrum.
it is. Yeah.
of areas,
So that's.
so.
I mean, those things are ongoing. Our worshipful master, we mentioned it a couple times, Peter, last year, even in the middle of COVID, one of the things that he wanted to do was to create a little free library on the property of our lodge, and he did, and he did it officially through the town and through their organization. We dedicated the thing. One of the guys from the lodge built the little free library.
Oh, yeah,
cool.
It's a replica of our building, which is kind of
It's really neat.
It is.
That's pretty cool.
But it's it's stuff like that.
Nice.
The little free. So for the little free library, you can look that up, littlefreelibrary.org, I believe it is, and you can find all of them nationwide. And we're on that registry now. We have it outside, and it's stocked with books from anywhere from K to 12 right now.
Wow.
All kinds.
Look at you guys.
And you talk about the charity aspect of it. We as Freemasons like to tout that we give $2 million a day to various charities. Obviously, that's different for every lodge, and that's not like Olive Branch does not give $2 million. Freemasonry as a whole does,
Right. As a worldwide fraternity.
Yeah. As of this year, Olive Branch has given out about $10,000 worth of charity to various things, and that includes, like Kevin said, whether it be a brother in need or a scout member that came to us and asked us for a donation, or a dyslexia center that came to us and asked for a donation, like all kinds of stuff like that. And then what I think attracts, especially with Olive Branch, I think what attracts a lot of members is the fraternal aspect of it. Is you come in and you feel at home very quickly. You come in, you kind of look around, somebody notices, hey, that's a new guy. If we don't already know that you're coming, because most of the time we do, because you're in communication with Adam, our secretary, and someone will come up, immediately shake your hand, be like, hey, what's your name? I'm so-and-so. If supper's already out, here, have some food. If not, here, let's have a tour, because we've got history behind our physical building and where it stands. So we have a little bit of a story to tell before anything else.
Sure.
And then it's just, hey, I'm so-and-so, meet so-and-so. What are you into? Here, have a drink if you want to have a drink. Here, have some food. And it just rolls from there.
So for your lodge
Mm-hmm.
and in the larger spectrum of Freemasonry, where do people go to learn more?
There are various
BillyBilbo.org.
there are
Click on the BBQs.
various places to go to learn about Freemasonry. Personally, I recommend Freemasonry for Dummies, both the book and the website, or the Freemasonry subreddit on reddit.com, because obviously Freemasonry for Dummies is run by, as I mentioned, Brother Christopher Hodap, 33rd degree.
Ooh. Lifetime achievement Freemasons.
Yes. He has contributed a lot. And the subreddit is run by brothers. So they do exactly what we did here tonight, where we're just accepting and trying to answer as much, even though there's plenty of trolls on the internet, we try to filter all that out.
They try to weed out the shenanigans.
Absolutely.
That's a function of the Grand Lodge that we were talking about before. Any Grand Lodge, you can pick up the phone, call them, and say, "Hey, we'll put you in contact with lodges in your area."
So they
all have websites.
Yep. So
cool.
We made the joke about we're all attached to your colon, and there was a phrase that I was using before that. It's not just a man, a mason, which is a program started by the Scottish Rite, and through that you can go to not just a man, a mason, and find your local Grand Lodge, and from there it will filter you down to a lodge that is closest to you. And then you get in contact with that lodge's secretary, and you begin the journey. I recommend anyone who is interested in Freemasonry either pursue that or find your local Grand Lodge, wherever you may be. Find a lodge that's close to you. Check out the vibe, as they say there. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You don't always have to go to the lodge that's closest to you. We've got brothers in our lodge that live 45 minutes away but want to come to Olive Branch because they like the atmosphere that's there. But luckily the three of us are within proximity and we really enjoy it. And then from there, it's just simple, just getting to know guys. and just going every, whatever their meeting night is. Ours is Tuesdays. So if you're in the Freehold area of New Jersey, you can check out olivebranchlodge.org. Obviously our podcast, The Extended Branch, which you can find on YouTube and iTunes. We're working on Spotify and various other places right now.
Yes,
Very
to
good.
be announced soon.
Yes,
Andrew and I
yes.
are working on that behind the scenes,
We
making
are.
sure
Thank you, Chris.
all the shows go everywhere. Oh, no
Thank
problem.
you. Thank
Including our back catalog, our giant archive of the
Yeah.
only podcast that matters and
Yeah.
everything. We're going to make sure everything goes everywhere. So we're plugging
and-
away at that. But it is available. All episodes of The Extended Branch are on YouTube
Yes, sir.
right now.
Yes,
you go
yes,
to
sir.
the Olive Branch Lodge 16 channel.
Yes, sir.
And of course, you can hit up Andrew on Instagram with further questions.
Absolutely. No,
Metal
seriously.
_Drew. And he will answer all your questions about Freemasonry, about Scottish Rite, if the prestige and the salmon titties he mentioned earlier, whatever that word was, if that appeals to you, then you can reach.
Solemnity.
Is that what?
No. I think
My
it was
memory is
I
for
think
shit.
It was salmon titties. I remember salmon titties too. Chris.
It just went
That's
real quick.
I drifted in and out of the show, so forgive me.
Something else about milking. I don't know.
Maybe joking. What?
Do you guys want to plug your social media if people want to reach out to you, if they like what you have to say and everything, or you don't have to? It's up to you.
No, it's cool, man. I mean, that hit all the stuff.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
It's all on you, Worshipful Master.
Well, typically it is.
You can find us on the Extended Branch on Instagram.
Yes,
right?
you can.
Yeah, we're at the Extended Branch.
The Extended Branch, bi-weekly, by the way.
Yes.
So subscribe to the channel and subscribe in the podcast app of your choice, coming soon, but on iTunes as of right now.
Yes.
And of course, if you came to this show for the first time because you like the subject of Freemasonry, Scottish Rite, Shrinerness, and everything else,
We're sorry.
Hi.
and follow the
guy.
show on Instagram and Twitter at Cape Pod. And you can follow me on Twitter at Chris Aballo and on Instagram at Chris Sells Out. And please subscribe to this show on the podcast app of your choice. Check out the Half-Assed Media channel on YouTube for clips, 2 to 3 clips a week from the show. And if you want extra bonus awesomeness, patreon.com/Cape Pod. And this week we will put up the pilot of the Extended Branch, the unreleased pilot. The banned, rejected, controversial pilot.
Yes.
The controversial pilot of the Extended Branch. Available nowhere else except on the Cape Patreon.
My spoon is too big.
Hello.
Verboten.
Then there you go. You could, of course, give $2 a month if you just want to have access to the feed. But for all the bonus stuff, $5 a month will get you access to bonus audio and all sorts of goodness. And that will expand going forward as well. And subscribe. Lots of interesting stuff coming up in the next thing. Aside from other crossovers with other shows, more of that stuff to be announced. So again, follow the social media. But a lot of stuff coming from us at A Shared Universe as well.
Yes.
Here at Team Cape. So follow, subscribe, and keep an eye out. Like and tell a friend. All that good stuff. So until next time, for Kevin, Billy, and Andrew, and Engineer Chris, this is Chris Aballo, and this was yet another experiment.
Welcome to the club number 908. You have joined the sacred order of the Stonecutters, who since ancient times have split the rocks of ignorance that obscure the light of knowledge and truth. Now let's all get drunk and play ping pong.